It's Albino Rhino beer review time, boys and girls. Today we have some beers. They're all over on my thing over there. We have some styles I might like. We have some styles I probably won't like. We have one that I am told I'm going to love. So let's start with the in the middle ones, right? And we're going to go like lightest flavor to biggest. And you can always tell what review day it is by my shirt. Today is from Pile of Bones here in Regina. This is Pile of Bones Brewing Company's Scarth Street Blonde. Ooh. So Scarth Street is kind of near me. It's 5% alcohol. What do we have here? Scarth Street, the heart of downtown Regina. Scarth Street Blonde uses a generous amount of prairie-grown Pilsner malt to develop its refreshingly crisp craft beer character. 5% ABV, 26 IBU, water, malted barley, hops, and yeast. Apparently they were 4 local award-winning homebrewers. They started sharing recipes, techniques, tips, and tricks for years before they decided to work together to found the Pile of Bones Brewing Company and bring the best beer to you. Originally Regina's only downtown brewery, we continue to innovate and push the boundaries. They are at 1808 Cameron Street in Regina. Okay, we're done reading now, right? All right. Wow, that's a pretty beer. Look, here's what I expect from Pile of Bones at this point of my journey with them. I expect either amazing sours and stouts or in-your-face hoppy beers. It is so crystal clear I can actually read Scarth Street Blonde out of the camera right now, which means you guys can see me. Hey. Beautiful, beautiful golden color. There was bright white head. It's faded rather quickly. What is this sitting on? Because this table was level when I was checking levels earlier, and that's not level. Anyway, scent from the glass first, shall we? Okay, a little sudsy. A little bit of sweetness, but it has that very dry backbone. Like it's very dry, somewhat astringent even on the nose. Out of the can. Wow. Yeah, that's really dry and astringent. It almost has, and I know it's not in here, but it almost has that like somewhat latex rubber scent that I pick up from sulfites. I know it's not in here, but I'm just speaking about what I'm experiencing right now. Okay, so I love the can. The visual appeal of the beer was great. The explanation of the beer makes me think I should be getting something I can get behind, but that smell worries me. But let's try the beer. Cheers. It's just the smell. Now, that does blend to the whole experience if you're drinking it out of a big nosing glass or anything like that. Out of just the little beer mug, you don't really get a lot of nose when you bring it up to your face. You get a little bit, but not enough that envelops your whole face. It's more it's more scent than you would get drinking it from the can, but it's less scent than you would get drinking it from like a Teku or a Goblet or any other plethora of glass choices. I'm a fan of I really am a fan of Tekus. I just don't like buying them because of how expensive they are. I'm a fan of tulips. I'm a fan of goblets. I'm a fan of even flutes, to be honest. I mean, a flute would be the best thing to drink this out of, I think, because you really wouldn't get any scent from it unless you're looking for it. But it would take away any tinniness or that you could get from drinking directly from the can. Flavor of this is nice. So, I like the can. I like the look. Do not like the smell. Really like the flavor. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It does come off with a very crisp, malty flavor, which is actually what they explain. It has 25 IBU, but it's not all that bitter at all. Well, 25 isn't even all that high, so it shouldn't be all that bitter, but I'm just saying it doesn't even taste like it's 25. I would actually put it, personally, and I mean, your IBUs matter and don't matter. They're one of those stats that's a weird stat, because some hops give off a lot more bitterness than others, so the IBU is an intriguing stat, because you can stack hops into a beer and make that IBU up high, but depending on how you used it and everything else, you might not get a lot of hop flavor, and which ones you used. And so I would say on average, this is feeling more, they say Coors Light is 7 IBU, so I would say this is more like 10 to 12, because there is a little bit more bite on the back, but it's not like what you'd expect with 25. This is a solid, like North American lager to Kolsch to Pilsner. I mean, I didn't look up what they're doing. I don't know if it's supposed to be a blonde lager. When you say blonde, it could be almost any form of things that is blonde in color. It could be a blonde ale, a blonde lager, a Kolsch, a Pilsner, an American adjunct. It could be so many different things, but this does taste like it's in the wheelhouse of like a Pilsner / Kolsch / North American lager. You do get the flavors that you're drinking something craft. You do get more crisp, more slightly sweet, more grainy sweetness than you would from, say, a Coors or a Bud or a Miller or a Minhaus or anything like that. But its flavor profile isn't overpowering. It's very biscuity on the back end. Like, it's that sweet graininess on the forefront. Excuse me. Tiny touch of like caramel in the middle. A little bit of earthiness at the back. And then just biscuity, which clears the palate. Leaves me wanting more. I was worried about this. Because, you know, I had their red ale and it was hoppy. I had their Americano stout and I liked it, but I mean, on the can they were like, we put loads of citrus hops in this coffee that you're gonna love, and I'm like, no, thank you. But I liked it. This is the most I've had. This is either beer 4 or 5, maybe 6 from them for me. Yeah, they're red, they're stout, they're porter, they're face melter. They're white. This is number 6. And of all 6 of them, this is the least flavorful but most sessionable. And I mean, this is like the intro beer that you could bring anyone to drink. And if you did these blind and you put this in with a bunch of macro beer and you made your macro beer drinking friends try them, they might actually like this more than some of the beers that they say they normally like. Again, the flavors are there. It just is so nice and tasty, but it's not overpowering. It's not in your face. It's not more than you... It's not as in your face as most of their beers. It's fairly laid back and fairly easy drinking. I'm giving that a 7.75. I would drink that again. Scarth Street Blonde from Pile of Bones. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.